Hello, and thank you for joining us to learn another of the many tips and tricks that will help you get the most out of QuoteWerks. Today we'll demonstrate importing product price lists to product folders and subfolders in QuoteWerks Web. Products are retrieved from product databases often obtained from distributors or vendors and can be very large, so organizing products effectively is essential for quick retrieval. Understanding product folders and subfolders will go a long way towards achieving this organization. To begin our product import, we need to have, as I mentioned before, a file or a price list from one of our vendors or distributors. For the purposes of today, I'm using a Excel file, CSV file, that has been provided to us by a provider of plants for a nursery. You can see that we have manufacturer part number, description, cost, price, MSRP, and then category and subcategory. Manufacturer part number is by far the most important field here, as that is the unique identifier for the part in our system. It's also nice to have description, cost, price, and MSRP at a bare minimum. Category and subcategory are the two fields that we're going to use today to create our folders and subfolders. Quick note, we can import both TXT and CSV files into our product data sources, and this particular file is a CSV file. Now that we've got our price list, the next step would be creating a product data source that we can insert that price list into. And we do that by navigating to QuoteWerks Web, going to Setup, and Product Data Sources. We create a new product data source by selecting the New button on the top left. We're going to create a new QuoteWerks database type. It's going to be a QuoteWerks native database. And we have a couple different options we can select. We can disable the product data source, meaning that it will be in our product data source list, but not available to users. We have the show all products and services when product source is selected. We also have some options to automatically generate folders based on specific header fields. In this case, we're not going to select any of these. The folder creation that we're going to do is going to be done based on our mapping and some of the mapping steps we'll take when we do our import. Next, we'll hit Finish, and we'll be asked to name our database. And we'll also be asked to name our table. And that's it. We now have a new product source database here in our setting up product data source page, and that's the test DB. So we have our file for import. We have our product data source configured now. Next step is to import that product list into our product data source. And we do that by going to Import Products. First option we have here is to either select a file or create this via template. In this case, we are going to select a file because it's the one that I just showed you there. But if we had a standard format of a file that we get from a vendor or distributor and we wanted to use it over and over again, let's say we get updated price lists on a weekly basis, we could use a template, which is basically saving all the steps we're about to take so that you can automate some of the processes of mapping when you're importing that similar price list from the same vendor. Again, we're going to go ahead and select our file here, and I happen to know that it is here in my users folder, and it is named product DB sample. When that file comes in, we're going to automatically analyze the file and understand the line delimiters, field delimiters, and fields in the text file, as you see at the bottom of the screen here. That's something that you're not going to have to edit again because those are automatically detected, so we'll go ahead and hit Next. This page here is where we're actually going to go in and start mapping some of the most common fields in QuoteWerks. Again, manufacturer part number is by far the most important, so I'll go ahead and map that one first. We also have our description, our cost, our price, and in this case our list is going to be our MSRP. If we did want to check to see what the original data looked like, we can click View Data here on the bottom left, and it'll show us the first 20 rows of the data that we've imported. Once those fields are mapped, we're going to hit Next and go on to Advanced Mapping, and this is where we're actually going to create those folder and subfolder designations. We do that by mapping the fields to the folder name in the QuoteWerks field selection. We do that by searching for folder, and it'll bold all items here that have folder in the name. So you'll see we have ampersand folder name, and we want category to be our top level folder, so we're going to map ampersand folder name to category. You'll see when we hit map, a little star shows up between field 6 and category over here on the right. That indicates that that field's been mapped. The next step is to then go ahead and use the properties to assign what we want the subfolders to be. In this case, it's going to be subcategory, so we're going to be interacting with this field 7. So again, we're going to properties, and in order to nest the folders underneath the top level folder, we're going to use a backslash and then the field name. So in this case, we've got our bracket field 6 end bracket, backslash, bracket, field 7, end bracket. So this is saying that we want field 6, which is our category, to be our folder, and we want field 7 to be our subfolder. And we can continue to do that with whatever number of fields we'd like to in order to nest those folders and subfolders. Once we're done, we hit OK, and that mapping is complete. We'll hit Next to continue, and this is where we're going to choose where we are going to insert this product data list into, and we are going to use TestDB as we just created. We're going to start at row 2 because our header columns are the first row, and we're also going to make sure that Create Product Folders is selected. That's going to create those product folders based on our mapping in the previous step. We also have the option to remove leading and trailing spaces from all field data just to clean things up as we import it into the database. And there's some different import modes that we have. We have delete all existing products in the selected database and append the new products, append the products to the existing products, update existing products and append new products, and update existing products but do not append new products. Because we're importing this into an empty database, I'm going to go ahead and select delete all existing products in the selected database and append the new products. However, if you're importing into an existing database, you want to be careful as to which option you choose, because in some cases it could remove existing data. We're now going to hit Next, and this is where we have the option to save what we just did as a template. I mentioned templates in the beginning step. This is where we would go and save that template to be used in the future if we choose to do so. Everything has been set up, so I'm going to hit Start Import, and it's going to ask me if I'd like to proceed. I'm going to select Yes, and the import's going to run through and give us a confirmation here. It's also going to ask us if we want to view the import log, which we can, and it's going to show us what was done during the import. And we can see here that there have been a couple different folders that have been created. We'll see how those are listed in just a moment. To verify that our product import has been completed successfully, we can go to Products, and we'll now see our TestDB here. We could show all products, and it'll show you all the products in the database along with those different fields that we had. Or if we want to check on the folders and subfolders, we can press the plus button here, and you'll see that we have our indoor and outdoor categories have created our top level folder, and our subcategory has created the subfolders. So leafy and flowering are both contained within indoor and outdoor dependent upon the category. Now if we wanted, we could easily come into and create a new quote, query our product database, come into our test database, and select a product and add it to our quote. As you can see, importing products and taking advantage of organized product folders is quick and easy and definitely help you get the most out of QuoteWerks. If you have interest in learning more about how to import product databases, creating folders and subfolders, or anything regarding QuoteWerks Web, feel free to check out our help files or contact technical support at 407-248-1481.